actress Stephanie Powers is probably best known to us as Jennifer Hart in the popular series Heart to Heart. But when she came to our studio a few days ago, she wanted to talk about a far less well-known side of her life.
Thank you very much. That's very kind.
Great fans, perhaps of Heart to Heart. Is that what we know you best for here? How do you account for its success?
I wish I knew. If I did, I'd bottle it and you make a fortune.
You enjoyed it, obviously.
Oh, I did very much. We had a wonderful time.
Now, you're not here to talk about any of this. You're here because you're very interested in conservation of wildlife.
I am indeed.
And particularly in the William Holden Wildlife Conservation
Foundation.
Obviously named after William Holden.
Yes.
Who was your partner for
9 years.
9 years.
Yes.
You didn't marry?
No, we didn't marry. No, at the time we didn't feel we needed to.
Right. And he died very young.
Yes, he died at 63, which is too young these days.
Much too young.
Much too young.
Well, now, you have now the task of running the Conservation Foundation.
In Bill's life, which is much more important to talk about than his death, because he accomplished some things which were never known in his public life. He was a movie star of the greatest magnitude. In his day, he was the #1 box office star there was. He was the first one ever to receive $1 million for a movie, you know. In those days, that was a big amount of money. Today, it still is for most of us, but it isn't for some of the movie stars. And so when he crossed over in his private life, he was a conservationist. He was working actively in conservation before the word was even in common usage.
He traveled a lot. You traveled with him?
Yes, but I'm talking about his achievements.
Oh, right. Okay.
And what he started, what he saw in East Africa after having gone out to East Africa as a hunter, was he saw the earmarks of what was to come, which was increased population, struggle for land, reduction of habitat, destruction of wildlife, and...
Are you saying he started as a hunter? He went out to kill them?
He started as a hunter, yes.
Right.
He went out in the mid-50s. And he told me one story about, he shot an animal called a Garanuk, which they were shooting for the pot, meaning to feed everybody. And this beautiful creature has a very long neck with big, big eyes.
Is it sort of deer?
Beautiful. It's an antelope. Oh. And it's very delicate and stands on its hind legs to forage. Oh. And when he shot this thing, poor baby, he walked over and picked up its face and looked at it and said, "Oh my God, I've just killed Audrey Hepburn." And I think it was very shortly after that he preferred to save them rather than shoot them.
So tell us what the charity actually does.
What Bill had established in his lifetime, along with his 2 partners, was a game ranch.
Okay.
The idea of the game ranch was to capture animals, bring them back, a diverse amount of species. We have 37 species on the game ranch, and create nucleus breeding herds of these species.
Now, I don't like to point this out to you, Stephanie, but you are wearing leopard skin shoes.
Ah, yes, look at those.
Now,
Polly and Esther.
Oh, right.
Aren't those good?
Mind you, Esthers.
Little Pollies and Esthers.
I have to say that Esthers are endangered species, in some senses, too.
Yes, well, I do my best to protect all Esthers, but...
Terrific. And if we met you in Kenya, would you be very different from the sort of glamorous film star actor we have here?
Life is simpler, yes.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Do you like that, or do you yearn for...
I need it. I require it, yes.
Do you?
I like being uncomfortable in tropical areas with lots of bugs. I really enjoy that. I don't mind snakes. I don't mind any of that sort of stuff. So I've always enjoyed adventure.
Show business has trained you for it.
Yeah, I had there are a lot of snakes in show business.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Stephanie Powers. Thank you.
The school holidays are just